Right. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is, in order to delete a record, you need to, we have like 1,000 employees. You want to delete only one employee. How will you identify? You need to identify based on some condition, right? Like that unique employee ID. Not that everybody will have the same employee ID. Employee ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Somebody can have 101. So give me the employee where employee ID equal to 101. Or if you want to delete somebody who is a project manager, and if the project manager works for a department called the database department, or managed services, cloud services, like that, you can write the query and then you can delete them. So first, how to write the query? Let's see, in the Salesforce, we know how to insert the record here. All of these things are inserting the record. How do we fetch the record from the Salesforce? Like, one of the things that we could do is, let me log into the Salesforce, login.salesforce.com. And if you see here, we know how to log into the developer console. We go to the developer console. And in the developer console, you have something called query editor. You can write the query that whatever you want, and then you can execute. So this query is nothing but they are called as SOQL query. Okay, SOQL, which is nothing but Salesforce Object Query Language. Here it is, Salesforce Object Query Language. Okay, like for example, if I'm going to pull something from the accounts, you can only write the select queries. You cannot write insert or update or delete queries. You can only write in select queries. Select ID, comma, name from accounts, and you can execute here. Once you execute, there is a accounts. There is a problem. There is no such thing called accounts. So your object name is going to be called account. It has an account. It's exactly the same thing. Like, what is the name of the object manager? If you click here, see, this is the account. I put like accounts. That's why it couldn't find it. So I'm pulling all the records from the account. That's what I'm doing. ID, give me all the ID and name from account. See here, it gave me everything. Okay. Similarly, you can pull whatever the field that you want. So you know what are the fields that is available here. Like for example, even you can bring like annual revenue, right? So the field name is annual revenue. Copy. I'm pasting it with comma. And then select. See, give the annual revenue. So if you see here, this grid gives you you can save the rows. Even if you want to insert the row, you can just insert one more row here. You can select and then delete a row. You can refresh the grid here. In case if you want to create a new record, you can when you click on new, it goes to the new screen itself. This is how you create a new record, right? New account, right? And similarly, if you want to open the detail page, you select, and then you can open the Micron system, right? If you open the detail page, it opens up the Micron systems. You can see this is the Micron systems, right? So, and then you can even select and go to the edit screen. When I click on edit, it goes to the edit screen, not the preview, it just edit screen where you can go and edit the information. So
Alex, sorry, can you show me how do you go to that page again? This one, like how we go to this page?
This page is nothing but, okay. So let me, you know how to log into the developer console. Go here, go to this, go to the developer console, and you are in the developer console. And then you go to query editor. This is the query editor.
Okay, got it.
And then you write the query and then click on the execute. And then it gives this results. So you can only write select queries. You can write as many columns as you want. Column means nothing but fields. You're just pulling these 3 fields for now. You can fill whatever the field that you want. Like if you see my exercise, I was trying to get something from the account, right? I'm getting everything from this account, say for example. So I'm getting ID, name, phone, fax, and everything. I'm going to delete something called Amazon. So I'm selecting where account, from account, where name equal to Amazon. This is just a where condition. Where is a condition, right? This is pulling everything, but I'm writing a condition now. If you see here, this will pull only Amazon because I have a condition name called Amazon. So I'm pulling only one record. So if you see here, like, okay, so this is the class, the public class DML class. Okay, let me even open the class from here. I can even go here. We know how to create a Apex class, but I'm going to open the class. Open the class. Okay. All I am doing here is you know how to write a class, you know how to write a method. I'm writing a method called delete account, and then I'm writing a query. What does this query gives? So when I'm executing this query, it gives me the object record. Record of which object? Account object, right? So I'm executing this query. Whenever you want to execute the query, now the usage of query in the Apex class, this is how you use the query. If you want to use it individually to write the query, you write the query here and see the records. But when you want to use the query in the class, you have to use it with the square bracket. So this is Salesforce knows that you are using this query in the Apex language. So this is how you write the query, and then it is giving the object record, right? What record? Account. I am saving it in a variable like account delete of type account. Okay. The reason is that this is called array. This might return more than one results, right? If there are more than one Amazon, what will happen? Or for example, if you take out the where condition, it will give you all the results, whatever you see it here, right? So if you take out the where condition, what happens? If you execute, it will give you more than one results. Okay, all of these results it will give. So that's why I'm putting like array object, and then I'm deleting the entire object. Okay, entire object instance, entire variable. Like this is where we are storing all the records. Let's see now. I'm saving the record. Okay. Oh, sorry. I'm saving the record. So I'm saving the class. Okay. And then let's go to the debug. Okay. All I'm doing is, we know how to create the class, right? The object, DML class. I'm putting the variable called del class equal to new DML class. So I created an object from the class. And then I'm going to call the method. How do you call the method? Del class dot method name, delete account. That's it. So after the account is getting deleted, I'm just putting the system.debug saying that account got deleted successfully. Okay. Are you guys with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm executing the query now. I'm executing the class. All right, it's executing it. And then when you select only the debug only, you see it account got deleted successfully. Now we have the class here. I'm going to execute this. It should not return anything because it got deleted, right? I am executing the query. Okay, see, it doesn't return anything. Which got deleted. That is how you delete your record. That is how the DML statement delete is getting used. Any questions on the delete? This is exactly we have been learning in the last class, like how to use the delete. Now we learned about DMLs. Now programmatically we know insert, we know update, and we know delete. The fourth one is called upsert. We are going to talk about the upsert. Okay. Can I move on to the upsert if you guys don't have any questions on the delete?
Yes, God.
Okay, perfect. So basically, upsert, what is meant by upsert? So when you're talking about the upsert itself, you can know it is a combination of insert and update. Okay, it is a combination of insert and update. It is called the upsert object, upsert command. Okay, first it will get inserted and then it will get updated. So records that are new will get inserted. Records that are existing will get updated. For example, you are trying to update some information in the employee. Okay, when you are updating the employee records, say for example, employee called John and employee called Sam. These two guys you are using the upsert command. For example, the employee called John and Sam needs to be updated. You know how to use the update command, right? For example, you are not sure if John or Sam is existing in the system. We can use the update only if it exists in the system. If something is existing, you can do the update. When it doesn't exist, how can you do the update, right? And the system is going to throw an error saying that this record doesn't exist, you cannot update. Are you guys able to follow me? No?
I didn't get it. No.
You have only 2 employees in the system. Okay. And you want to update something to both the employees. Okay. If both the employees are existing or if it is available in the system, you can go and update. Okay, update John's salary to 10,000. Update Sam's salary to 100,000. Okay, but both John and Sam should be available in the system. Only then you can go and do the update. Are you clear now?
Yes.
In case if John itself is not existing in the system, John is not there in the system. When you update John, it will throw an error. Dude, you're trying to update something which doesn't exist in the system. How can you do the update?
Okay.
Were you able to get it now?
Okay. So for that we use insert and update.
In that case, if you use upsert, if John is not there, it will get inserted. If Sam is not there, it will get inserted. If John is there, it will get updated because it's existing. If Sam is there, it will get updated. So you don't have to worry about the errors happening that you're trying to update something that doesn't exist. Instead, the system will get insert. So the upsert is nothing but the combination of insert and update. If it is available, it will update. If it is not available, it will insert instead. Does it make sense now?
Got it.
So are you very able to understand what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah.
Is everything clear? What is upsert? This is more important, and they will ask surely an interview question. Because
Yeah.
update everybody can answer, insert everybody can answer. Upsert is the unique thing that is in the Salesforce.
Okay.
Okay. So let's write a simple program in the upsert. We'll see. Go to the developer console, or you can even write it here in the anonymous window. Right, Okay. So let's take the contact object as an example. Contact com1. Oh, no. Contact is an object, right? So if you see here, this is an object. We have a contact object, right? There is a contact object. These are the fields, right? So I'm creating a new contact called first name equal to, let's say, John. And then last name equal to Jan Bose, something like that. And then what is that? What is that we have? We have a department. Let's write a department. Department equal to finance. We know that this will create a new contact object. We have already seen a lot like this. And then if you just do the insert con, this will insert this object. So the John Bose will be created. So John Bose, give me 1 second, guys. Okay, so the record will get inserted. And then if you see here, after inserting, I'm saying like, and then we still have this con, right? It's in the scope. I'm updating this object con1 called, okay, you can even say like John, so that to make it clear. John, we are inserting John. I'm saying that I'm updating some other field here. John dot, okay, we have the description, right? Okay, John dot description equal to, so John has been updated with upset statement. Upset statement. Upset statement. Okay. And then I'm creating another contact called Sam. What I'm going to do is I'm exactly copy paste this guy, and then I'm going to write here as Sam. First name is going to be Sam. Last name is going to be something like Yoho. Okay, Sam Yoho and John Bose. and then he belongs to the department called HR. It's an example.
Yeah, sir.
So now I am going to use the statement called upsert. I have to do the upsert of both Sam and John, right? More than one is called the list. How do I do that? I have to upsert the list. So I need to create a list here. Okay. So you know how to create the bulk, right? Remember? I already taught you how to create the bulk. This is how you deal with the bulk, right? List contact equal to, you can have like new list, and then you can put your object, right? Same thing that you are going to do here. I'm going to create a list because I have to do both the things together using the upsert. So list, this list is of type contact. I'm going to create a list for the contact object, and then say like contacts equal to new list contact. So I'm saying I'm having two objects, right? John, comma, Sam. Okay. If you see here, I'm already teaching you every single line and every single concept of programming. You have to be practicing and then at least watch the videos and then understand it carefully. See here, this is what exactly I taught you in the past, how to create the list. Here, I'm creating everything in the new, with the new statement. But what I did is this new statement I did and then I assigned to the object. The same thing, the new statement I created and I assigned to the object. See here, this is a new command and then a new statement and I assign to the John object. This is a new statement and I assign to the Sam object. That is why I'm creating like John, comma, Sam. Okay. This is exactly the same as this one, what I taught you before. But this is other way of programming. I'm put it in a separate line, create a separate object and then object 1, comma, object 2. Here I put a whole command, new commands. But here it's like object 1. Object 1 is John and object 2 is Sam. And then I'm going to do upsert of these objects. Now, if you listen to me carefully, whatever I thought about the upsert, right? I was telling you if they exist, if it exists, it will be updated. In this case, John is exist. When I'm calling upsert, I'm calling the John and Sam, right? John is already exist, meaning John got inserted here. I created a John and I got inserted a John. So John is inserted already. And I am putting John's description, I'm updating it. Okay. And then this is Sam. I'm not inserting the Sam, if you see here. I'm just creating the Sam. I'm not inserting Sam. So John is already available in the system, where Sam is not available in the system. But I'm using the upsert for both John and Sam. In this case, John is already available. So whatever the new changes John has will get updated. John got inserted here with this John Bose Finance. The only new thing for the John is description is here. Okay, so upsert will work with the update command. But whereas in the Sam got declared here, but it is not in the system. I did not use the word insert. So it is not in the system. So Sam will get inserted, whereas John will get updated. The combination of both insert and update is called the upsert. Any questions? Any?
I have
Say?
like if you have more than 10 objects like this, if we just insert one and the rest we can do it with upset, right?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter. Okay. So the thing is that you are trying to manipulate with John and Sam. Okay.
Yeah.
And your first name, last name, department. Okay. There is no changes here. When you are updating the John, with you're updating John only with the description is updated. The rest of it is all same.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this John will still have the first name, last name, and department and the description. So it is not going to insert a new. It knows that, hey, John is available with the first name, last name, and department. Only the description is the new field. So it is going to get updated. Whereas for the Sam, it doesn't find with the same first name, last name, or department. So it is going to update. Clear?
Yeah.
Can I go ahead and execute? Because if it is clear about this code, like this is how the upsert works. Now it's a combination of insert and update. That is called the upsert.
Okay.
People prefer to use upsert so that they don't have to deal with the insert separately and update separately. If it exists, it's going to update. If it's not exist, it's going to insert. So it's safe to use the upsert. That's the unique feature of the Salesforce.
Okay.
Okay. All right, let me go and execute this. Okay, it got executed. And let's go to Salesforce. And I'm switching to the sales app. And here is the contacts. You see here, Sam Yoho and John Bose. These two got created. If you see the John Bose, that was inserted first. And then later, if you see here, the description got updated. This was executed while during the upsert statement, right? John has been updated with upsert statement. Whereas if you go and see Sam Yoho, this guy is just created with all the details that we gave with the HR and everything. And I did not put anything in the description. So if you see here, I did not insert separately. This upsert is the one which is handling the insert of Sam and update of John. Clear?
Yes.
Any questions on the upsert? Perfect. Okay. So, and now we know how to insert, update, upsert, and delete. Okay. So these are all the things that will be used during the DML statements. Okay. And the next thing is like, how to, okay. Now we are all familiar with the DMLs. Okay. All right. Now, how to deal with the related records. How to deal with the related. These are the core concepts, guys. Because whenever you're talking about Salesforce, it's all about the data. Now the DML is more important concept, which we have gone through it very detailed way. Okay, all the statement programmatically we executed. Every single concept has been taught by writing the code on demand. Okay. All right. Now let's see how to deal with the related records. You know what is going to be related records, right? Like for example, let's go to the Salesforce, and if you see the accounts, like United Oil and Gas Corporation, right? See, this accounts has the related contacts. For example, you own a company called Apple, and you deliver like 1,000 MacBooks to the college, University of Texas. And when you send a voucher or when you send a invoice, there should be a contact person, right? You should call somebody and ask, hey guys, did you receive 1,000 MacBooks? I'm sending my invoice. When can I receive the payment? So for every account, you should have the contact persons. So this is the United Oil and Gas Corporation account. And for that, you can contact like four people to contact. Like this guy is a CEO, CFO, like senior vice president production and senior vice president technology. These are the 4 contacts we have it for this account. These are called the related records. Contact object is called related. Remember, we have been, while training the admin, we talked about how to create the object and relate the objects, like parent child, master detail, lookup. Okay, so we learned all those relationships, right? That is what the related records means. And in the Apex class, how do we deal with the related records? Okay, that's what we are going to see it now. It's very simple in Apex. All right. So like, let's take an example of account, right? Account ACCT or new ACCT, something called new account, equal to new account name equal to, I'm writing it as like Apple account. I'm creating an Apple account. Okay, you know how to insert this will insert the Apple account. Okay, and then you want to also create the contact. Okay, like once you insert into the system, every account will have, or every record will have the ID. I told you, right? ID. Now I'm declaring the ID equal to ACCT ID equal to, this is the object you're inserting, right? New ACCT dot ID. So this is the ID of the account that you inserted for the Apple account. Okay. Now see, this is the important part. Now you want to update the contact. Programmatically, you want to update the contact. What will you do? So you want to contact, or Apple contacts equal to new contact, and then you are saying first name equal to the option, and last name equal to phone equal to 555. And then if you go and see the contact, if you go to the setup, object manager, here is the contact that you're dealing with, right? Contact. In the fields and relationships, you have the contact. And you see here, you have the account ID. In the contact, you are telling that this contact belongs to this, this contact is linked with this account ID, right? This is the contact object. In the contact object, you tell that, oh, this has been hooked up, or this has been linked with the account ID, the account name. But the field name is the one which you need to use it in the Apex coding, account ID. So what I do is the same thing, guys. If you see here, I'm using the field name. What is the field name for the contact? This is the contact. What is the field name for the account? It's like account ID, right? I'm just saying, copying account ID. similar to the phone number. You know how to create the first name, last name, phone, and then I'm saying like account ID equal to, this is the ID, you already have it, right? I'm inserting. The reason why I'm inserting here is to make you to get understand. Otherwise, you can simply write a SQL statement. You know, how to write the SOQL to pull the any account, and then you can even get the ID there, and then you can simply put the ID equal to ID. It's not that every time you can only create the contact only whenever you create the new account. Not like that. You have the account, you can even create or you can even do the update. The only thing is that you need to have the account. It doesn't really matter how do you get this account ID. You can write the SQL statement, SOQL statement. It's exactly the same thing. ID, you got it right. You can even select the ID and then you can use it here. Or I created here, so I just saved it to the account account ID in a variable called account ID, and then I'm having it here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert the contact now. Because remember, if we are inserting the account, here we are inserting the contact. Any questions so far? Now you see here, let's execute this. Okay, let me go here. Let me go to the sales app. And let me go to the account as an example. I created an Apple account. You see, the PIN code got created, the related records. Similarly, if you go to the contact, you can even see the Tim Cook. So this is the Tim Cook. We associated or we coupled Tim Cook with this account, Apple account, and same thing, right? In the Apple account, you can even go and see these are the related records. This is the related records that we create. How do we create? It's simple. Like any other field, the only thing is that you need to use this regular field. How do we identify the field? You know the field name when you create an object called account ID. You know which ID we are talking about. That is why I taught you in detail before you even go through this exercise. What is ID? What is data type? What is ID? What is S object and everything. Mostly you will be dealing with the ID on the S objects. Now you know insert. You will be repetitively doing all this DML statements. That's why I taught you how to create the records, how to create the related records. Now you can even update the related records, you can even update the existing records. Now we have seen all the DML statements. Now you know how to deal with the related fields or related records. Any questions? Now you know how to write the query. So it's all like little dots. I taught you in detail everything. And we even combined a few dots, like accounts, updates, and upsert and everything. The thing is that you can all put together and you can create your own scenario. Hey, okay, I'm going to create a new record and I'm going to update, and I'm also going to create a related record for this record. If you put together, you know how to write a class, you know how to write a method, you can create a class and method and call that method. You should be able to achieve it. Any questions with all the DMLs and all the SQLs we learned and all the related records that we learned? Okay. So if you see these DML operations, one important thing, right? All of these are the DML operations, right? So when you're writing the DML operations, it's a transaction that occurs in the database, right? Either the DML will all get successfully completed and then saved into the database, or if the error occurs, the entire transaction will be rolled back. If some problem occurs, it will not get saved into the database. Everything will be rolled back. Like for example, here you see, I'm inserting the account and then I'm inserting the contacts. If something problem occurs here, even this will not get saved. because this is altogether like, we are executing one Apex class with the transactions. So all the DML operations, right, will either get executed or it will get rolled back. So in order to catch what is the problem and everything, see what is the problem or what exactly happening, those are called the exceptions. We need to handle the exceptions. Okay, how to handle the exceptions? We need to next see how to handle the exceptions. Okay, if the problem occurs, we don't want to get rolled back. Like if there are like 1,000 employees are there, 600th employee has an issue and it got failure. We don't want to lose all the 599 employees who got created, right? That's not the right thing. And what is the point of spending time in executing all those, processing the data of all the 599 employees? So we need those to get succeed, and we need to capture the failed ones, and then we can rerun or we can reprocess those failed ones. That is how this real-time projects will work. Okay, we'll be talking about what are the exceptions and everything in detail. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay, so everything is clear with all the DMLs and everything. Okay, cool. So I want you guys to do the hands-on on this, and then in the next class I'll be teaching the exceptions. Okay, DML exceptions. Those are called the DML exceptions. DML exceptions. And we'll be talking about triggers. What is called triggers? These are the important concepts I'll be covering in next class. Okay. Today we covered a lot. We completed all the DMLs and we know what is upset. And also we wrote a sample program to demonstrate the upset. And we know how to delete the records. And we learned about how to create the related records. These are the stuff that we learned. Okay. And we learned the concepts of the exceptions, and we'll be talking in detail what is the exceptions, how can we programmatically handle the exceptions, and what is triggers, what are the various type of triggers, how can we deal with the triggers, why do we need the triggers. All those things will be in the next class. We'll be taking the DML exceptions and triggers. Any questions for me, any of this class? So just do some hands-on and make sure that you are confident enough to do the programming. Okay, so this is more important. All of these concepts are more important. Okay. All right, guys. So I'll be uploading this video right away, and you'll get notified, and then we'll talk in the next class. Okay. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Bye.